Ah, here we go. Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome to another Solution Sunday, where the soul is the solution. I'm Lisa Warner. I'm author of The Simplicity of Self-Healing, and I teach my clients how simple it is to actually heal themselves. And today we have a very special guest. Chu Tang is with us here today. Chu has a very interesting story. She started out with a very prolific career in computer graphics and software engineering. She pursued her dream in creating visual effects by working at Sony Pictures Imageworks as an R&D software engineer, before she moved to New Zealand, where she started working at Weta Digital as a shader and technical director on Academy Award-winning films such as Lord of the Rings trilogy, King Kong, and Avatar, one of the greatest movies of all time, just in my humble opinion. And then she has also worked at Pixar Animation Studios on Finding Dory, Cars 3, and Coco. And now Chu is on a mission. She has created a Facebook group called Health, Mindset, and Options. Her mission is to help extraordinary humans get back in shape, take control of their health, transform their mindset, and empower them to see the choices they actually have by showing them the options that are not being offered in other places. So Chu, welcome to Solution Sunday. It's so nice to have you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's a bit early, but.
So Chu, tell us, yeah, you're on the West Coast. So thank you so much for waking up early and agreeing to come and play with us this morning. Tell us a little bit about your story. How did you go from working on Academy Award winning films to creating a Facebook group for health, mindset, and options?
Yeah, so I think the pandemic, really gave me a wake-up call, right? Because helping people, and I look at I reevaluate my life, and I live a pretty selfish life, focus on my career and all that. And the pandemic made me realize that life is very short, and I need to, pursue my original passion. And my original passion is, ever since I was a kid, when I see people get sick, I for some reason I want them to get well. Yeah, and because of my journey to New Zealand, I was introduced to natural healing, and there's so many solutions out there, so many solutions. Western medicine is not the only answer. Yeah, and my own dearest grandma died of breast cancer, and I saw her suffer through chemo and radiation. And yeah, it's just that I want to have more knowledge in helping my friend and family, and now I'm reaching out to people to see what I can help. Yeah, so it was my original journey, and then my career got in the way. So now I'm back in touch with like you say, back in touch with my soul, to see what is important, what's my calling, what's the purpose of my life, and I feel really happy that I'm finally on this journey. Yeah.
That's beautiful. So many times it's in the adversity that we find our strength, and we find that passion to kind of turn our ship around and start sailing in a different direction, to come back into alignment with our souls.
Yes, yes, yes.
So yeah, I watch so many people go through cancer with, chemo and radiation and all of that. And when I found myself facing cancer, I just didn't want to go that route. I watched people suffering. I saw many people dying, and I thought, this doesn't make sense to me. Yeah. And I knew there were other options, but I didn't know what they were at the time. So this is so important that you are starting this journey of, showing people that there are many options.
Yeah, and then your own story is very amazing too, right?
Well, I really look forward to the day when it's not amazing, where it's just commonplace.
Yes.
Because, what I discovered on my journey was that our bodies are designed to heal themselves automatically for free. No waiting, no copay, no insurance forms to fill out.
Yeah.
Just communication with our bodies, looking at what's out of alignment. And the body is just simply pointing to where we have fallen out of alignment. And the body's never really the problem. It's, where are we struggling? Where are we suffering in our life? Where are the emotional wounds? What is it? What are we doing for our career that feels like it's a soul-sucking job? Are we going to some job every day just to make the donuts? That old commercial on TV, punch in the time clock. And are we not living a fulfilled life? This is what our bodies are telling us.
Yes. Completely agree.
So you started your Facebook group, and tell me your vision for this group.
Yeah, so I noticed that when I go to other people's group, some group, and they will have a lot of rules, like you cannot mention the product name, you cannot, mention a lot of things, and especially, I mean, recently, I mean, we have so much control of from the government of what we can say, we cannot say. And I said, wait a minute, this is the healing arts. We should have 100% freedom to say what we want to say, right? Yeah, it's enough, So I started my Facebook group, and I invite my friends from different, because I'm currently with Q Sciences, but there's so many other solutions. Let the person that decide. I mean, don't dictate the options, just give them the options. So that's why I went through different naming of my group, and finally say, yes, option, that's it. Yeah, because I mean, first of all, it's our health, and then our mindset, right? Like I learned from you, it's the mindset. That's so important. And then it's the options. Just share true, real story. I mean, the facts, like don't make things up, right? And just let the person decide. And I think it's working. yeah. So yeah, and I like to invite more people, from different health. And for me, I think it's that group of people that I really want to support also, because I feel that in each family, there's always this person that work extremely hard. And they normally the quiet one, the one that work really hard, and the one that the society don't really pay attention to because they're really quiet, right? And I think they usually don't put their health first, because they always give, and then give, always take care of others, and they don't put their health first. And I want to take care of that, those particular, I call them ordinary, because they're not celebrity, they're not famous, but they're extraordinary, because every day they wake up, they do extraordinary things. They create miracles, they make a difference in the world. And I really want to support that group of people. Yeah. So that's why I say, okay, that's my passion.
That's beautiful. I love that. We are this society, we are taught to be selfless, to give to everybody else until there's nothing left. And we're told that to put ourselves first is selfish, it's narcissistic, we need to think of everybody else. Oh, you're not thinking about me, you're being selfish. And so we're just conditioned to put everybody else first.
Yes.
And it's always at our own detriment. So I love that you're targeting this group of people that really need to be able to shift that mindset around and see that by filling your own cup, then you have others, you have enough to give everyone. Because
Right.
as our own cup is filled and overflowing with light and joy and ease and health,
Yes.
that's when we can give to everybody else.
Yeah. So self-care is very important. And I speaking from my own experience. Yeah.
Great. So tell me about your experience with self-care.
So I try to do meditation as much as I could, because I think it's important that, you know, each day we find a quiet space. And meditation for me, get in touch with my, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like my subconsciousness taking control, and then my consciousness kind of take a break. Yeah, and it's very interesting, because in my regular job as a graphics engineer, when I hit a problem that I cannot solve, I do meditation. Yeah, I do meditation, and then it's during the meditation I say, aha, there's a solution that I didn't think of. Yeah, and same thing with life, I think, because every day my day is really, really busy, and if I quiet down, it's just amazing, because our subconsciousness is really powerful. Yeah, so I do meditation, and I jump rope, because I love jumping rope ever since I was a kid. Yeah, ever since a kid, I was born in Cambodia, and back then, you know, we didn't have much toys to play, so I did a lot of, you know, jump rope, and yeah, so I do that, and that helped my cardio. Yeah, so that's what I do, and of course, you know, eating healthy, and you know, I live by the marina, so go for a walk, and then I take my supplement. So I need to do more. Yeah.
Beautiful. I love jumping rope too. I haven't done it for a while, but I've actually been thinking about starting again, because it's just something that's really easy to do. You don't need a lot of equipment. You don't need a lot of space. You can do it indoors if you need to, you know, but getting outdoors and doing it is so beautiful when the spring and summer and fall are here, at least here in the Northeast, where we have snow all winter. Harder to jump rope in the snow.
Right. Yeah, and then I think one thing I add to jump rope also is because when I jump, I just let the mind go, just let things go. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I love that you talk about allowing yourself to go into meditation to find the solution. We are body, mind, and soul.
Yes.
And we're just programmed our minds are programmed. We're programmed to think, and we're programmed to try to figure everything out. But as the soul, we already know. We already know all the answers to all the questions. Our soul is connected to the entire universe. So literally every answer to every question is available to us. But when we've been in that programmed mind, the mind is like a little squirrel in the cage. Look over here, look over here, look over here, look over here. And when the mind is so busy running around, we don't even notice the answer that is sitting right there when we get quiet and we allow the soul to speak.
So true.
So our soul and our bodies, they know exactly what to do. Our bodies are designed to heal themselves every single time. And the soul knows exactly what to do to get the body to heal itself. So it's this pesky little mind that has been programmed to go in and look at the obvious answer. Well, go to the doctor, find out what's wrong with you. That's the answer. You need to go to the doctor, ask the expert, find out. And then the answer is always the same.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
here's a prescription. Try the pill for that. If the pill for that doesn't work, then we'll do something a little more radical. We'll do a procedure.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, well, wait a minute. If we're trained to go ask the doctor and get a pill, we're overlooking the self-healing that is right here and natural.
Yeah, I had can I share a short story about the doctor, since you mentioned about
absolutely.
So for the longest time, I mean, I couldn't, my hair wouldn't grow long, and then I had body ache and all that, and I had chronic fatigue. So during the pandemic, and then so I went to see doctor, did a whole bunch of blood tests. They couldn't find out what's wrong with me. And they say, oh, why don't you just take a lupus? I said, yeah, but I don't have lupus. They said, just take it anyway. So, and I said, well, what happened? What's the side effects? And they said, oh, just to make sure you get your eye exam, once a year. And I was like, no, my career is still based on my eyes, because I do visual stuff, right? So I didn't take it. And then during the pandemic, I reached out to my homeopath that I still keep in touch from New Zealand. And I asked her, is there a class that teach me how my body really works? And then she said, oh yeah, there is. So then I signed up for the class, and I learned from Dr. Gary Samuelson about the cellular health. And I find out that the first thing our cells needs is water. And I find out I didn't drink enough water. Yeah, and then he gave us a really special recipe, just a pinch of salt, 5 drops of lemon in 1 liter of water. And I started doing that, my hair started growing like crazy. And then my joint, everything started moving. I was like, wow, it's basic things. Like, if I go to my garden, if I don't water my plant, guess what happened?
Right?
But the doctor never asked me how much water I drink a day, or whether I'm drinking, natural electrolyte water. That's it. It's that simple. It cost me nothing. But I didn't notice for all these years.
Right?
Yeah.
We're never, ever taught how our bodies actually function. And doctors aren't taught how our bodies actually function either. Doctors are simply taught how to give pills and write prescriptions.
Yep. It's
like, if you have this symptom, then give this pill. That's the answer.
I know, so sad.
It's not the answer. Yeah.
Yeah, but we can make a difference. You and I, we can
absolutely.
make a difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure. And like, part of that difference is realizing that we hold the answers inside.
Yeah.
Like, we've all been taught that the only experts are the doctors. That if you have, we're taught that we have these bodies, but doctors are the experts on bodies. Teachers are the experts on the mind, and preachers are the experts on the soul. Well, it's like, well, which part are we the expert on?
Yeah, I know.
Like, if we're body, mind, and soul, and the doctors are in charge of the body, and the teachers are in charge of the mind, and the preachers are in charge of the soul, then what are we left in charge with? Nothing.
I guess we're like zombies.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's really sad. A lot of us think that doctors are God and think that they control us, and it's just not right. Yeah.
Exactly. This is now the great awakening, as humanity is starting to wake up and see that we've lost control of ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, we have given away all of our power. We've given our power of healing over to the doctors. We've given our power of wealth over to the banks. So now we're all in debt. We've given our power of freedom to simply be over to the government. So now we're not free to do anything.
And not too free to speak up either. So
Precisely.
Yeah.
So it's so important what you're doing to start sharing other options with people. You know, when we go to the doctor, we're never told all the options. And we're
No.
not even told, like you were saying earlier, we're not even told what the side effects are.
Yeah.
We're not taught like this pill could do this, or it actually could do this thing over here. They kind of go, here, this is what the pill can do, and all the positive stuff that they think.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
kind of just overlook all the negative stuff, like, oh, well, side effects,
I know.
death.
It's like,
Like,
okay, you might become blind maybe, but
yeah, but hey, you'll be fine.
yeah. No, this is amazing because when I decided to focus more on the journey of health, I met people like you. I met amazing people, and then I'm totally amazed of how many different solutions out there. It's not just one thing, you know. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, look at all the solutions that nature itself provides.
Yeah.
We've got fresh water, well, wherever we can find fresh water these days, now that, you know, on this, the way the planet is actually set up to work is that nature provides everything we
Yeah.
need for
Yes.
thriving on this planet. You
Yes.
know, the life force energy moving through this planet, moving through all of our bodies, moving
Yeah.
through all of the plants, the animals, the air, the water. And now, so nature is literally our pharmacy. You know,
Yeah,
all
you're
of these
right.
amazing plants and
Yeah.
herbs and
Yeah.
the tinctures that we can make, all of this. These
Yeah.
are the things that our bodies actually are craving. They're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
craving the artificial synthetic things.
No. Yeah. Yeah. I know. Isn't it crazy? I mean, it's like really simple common sense, right?
One would think that it would be common sense.
Yeah.
However, common sense is obviously not so common these days.
I know.
So all of these other, you know, you talk about being born in Korea, and you know, Koreans have a completely different culture
Oh,
than the
Cambodia.
Americans do. What is
Cambodia.
the culture of Korea
Okay, Cambodia.
when it
Sorry,
comes to health?
I
Oh,
was
I'm so
born in
sorry.
Cambodia. No, it's okay.
Cambodia.
It's probably my morning voice. To yeah.
That
So
no, it's just my morning brain.
so by ethnicity, we my family's Chinese. Yeah, my family Chinese. Yeah, and when we were in Cambodia, I remember every day we had a fridge, but my mom hardly used the fridge. Every morning she would go to grocery shopping. Every morning, every day. So we used to eat fresh vegetable, fresh fish, fresh meat, all that. Yeah. And when I was there, I never heard of this thing called cancer. I never heard of autism, never heard of any of this kind of disease. Yeah. And then when we came to US, it's our diet change, right? And then things like, oh, you buy things that last that store in the fridge for a while and all that. Yeah, this is a very, very different. And then also in Southeast Asia, it was warm, so we sweat a lot. So that is really good, right? Yeah, yeah. So yeah. So you know the toxin from our skin pour. But then when we come to US, we hardly sweat. Yeah. So I think it's the lifestyle that is so that affects our health. Very important. Yeah. And then the mindset too, because we thought more simply, you know, but then coming to US, big city, competition and stress and all that. And the family, they don't live close to each other because in Cambodia, we had a huge extended family, grandparents, auntie, uncle, all in the same city. in the same town. And after dinner, we would just walk to see grandparents. It's just a very healthy mental, spiritual community. Yeah, yeah. But then when we migrated to US, we lost it. Like right now, I live in San Francisco. My mom's in LA. My sister's in Seattle. You know, we're not together. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and that what you're describing with Cambodia, with having your extended family around you, going each day, buying the things that you need for the day to feed yourself. Like this is how nature works. Like if you think about going back before there were cities, before there were refrigerators, before all of this stuff, you know, here in America, thinking back to the Native Americans who lived on this land with the land in harmony and peace long before the powers that be decided to come and take over everything. You just live in your tribe with your extended family, your community, and each day people go out, they hunt, they forage, they gather, they bring back for their dinner. And you don't take more than you need. You just simply take what you need, and what you need is always provided. But in this day and age, you know, and there's no waste, and everything was so much more, you know, when the tribe needed food and they would go and hunt, you know, they would call in the deer or the elk or the buffalo or whatever it was they needed. They would sit and they would communicate, and they would ask to be given one, you know, and they would hunt. And once they got it, they would honor the animal, and they would respect and give something back to the earth, you know, give back tobacco or whatever it was. You know, so there was an equal exchange, and there was honor and respect for the food that they're being given. You know, and they're using every part of that animal, you know, even the bones and the hide, all of it. So nothing was going to waste. But now today in our society, it's like more is better, bigger, better, bigger, better. And we've got how freezers and refrigerators filled with foods, and it gets shoved to the back. And then all of a sudden you've got a science project going in your refrigerator. So much waste.
So much waste. And then, and then some people even have more than one fridge. You know,
right?
Have,
it's like we're living completely unnaturally. It's not, you know, it's not natural for us to have 6 months of food stockpiled. What's natural is literally for us to go out and be able to get the things that we need from where we live. You know, it's great. You know, I love pineapples and avocados and all the things that don't grow here. Like, I love having that variety. But really, when we start to look at it, you know, we're really disconnected from nature and from our true nature.
So that's why we were told that to be healthy, we should eat seasonal vegetables, seasonal fruit. Because it works better with our body. It's part of the
exactly. You know, and when we go to the doctor, when do they ever ask, you know, what's your average, what are you eating? How much water are you drinking? What are you eating? How much exercise are you getting?
Nothing.
It's like, oh, well, let's see what pill we can give you today.
And then sometimes they don't even look at you. They just face the computer. Right?
I mean, I think probably some of them are a little
Yeah.
probably a little like they don't want to look at you because they just like it's easier to just prescribe a pill when
Yeah.
you don't look at the client.
Yeah.
If you're not having that
Yeah.
soul to soul interaction, it's
Yeah.
easier to just go, okay, here's a pill for that.
Yeah, yeah, because when I study homeopathy in New Zealand, the first thing when you see your client, you really have to look at them, right? Because it's their body, their facial, and everything, their skin tone. That tell you what's going on with that person. Yeah, all this, and when I took shiatsu, same thing. It's all this very crucial sign of a person. You have to look at the person.
Exactly, because not only are we looking at their physical body,
Mhm.
we're also looking at their energy.
Yeah.
Even though we're not trained to look at energy,
Mhm.
we're always sensing subtle energy,
Mhm.
and everything is energy. And
Yeah.
we have energy around us. We have more than just one body. We have a physical body, we have an emotional body, we have a mental body, we have many, many layers of energy bodies.
Yeah.
And when we look at each other, even if we're not conscious of it, we're
Mhm.
still picking up on the energy.
Oh yeah.
And if we simply pay attention, we can see when the energy is off. And then
Yes.
we can ask some basic questions. What's going on in your life?
Mhm.
How happy are you? What is stressing you out? Let's look at what's actually the problem.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Ah,
So many things that we're not really addressing.
right.
So what are some of the topics of conversation that you want to bring up in your Facebook group to let people know other options in other areas?
So I think for me, because I recover from chronic fatigue, so it's the stress, and then some of us, like, I if we don't take care of it over time, it could develop into an autoimmune issue. Yeah. So, and then it affects our sleep, memory, and then so there are two things. One is invite people who have, you know, different health solution to offer to share, and the other one is also like inspiration of someone else's story. Like recently, my friend Kathy, it's just like when she shared her story, I was like, wow, so powerful, you know. Yeah. And then other friend like Sarah, and then Stephen. Yeah, it's just a story, because for me, when I grew up, I grew up my grandma, and she told me a lot of story. And it's through the story that I learned about the strength of human being, and the resilience and the inspiration, because I also want to give hopes to people, because some people may have chronic, illness, and they might think there's no hope. And through our story, basically through our strength, I'd like to us, like the whole community, through the strength that we could help someone, to give them hope. Yeah, yeah. So that's that. Yeah. So that's why I hope my Facebook is a place where people come, and then they can feel comfortable. Say, oh, okay, this is the truth that they're reading, not an opinion, and then just feel comfortable and sharing, and yeah. Because nowadays, as soon as we step out of the house, we have to put a guard on, right? Oh, okay, is this true? Is this not true? Who could I trust? Who cannot trust? And I like my Facebook to have that space that, oh, they feel really comfortable. What's shared over there is the fact, not just people's opinion, or all that. Yeah. So I don't know. That's how I feel right now. But it might go into a bigger mission. Just let it be, right?
I love that. And it's so true. We're each here on this planet having our own individual experience. amongst the collective experience.
Yeah.
And we're just shown, what our experience is supposed to be so many times. Go pay your taxes, go get your mammogram, go do this, go do that. And we're told what we need to experience. But when we start to hear that people are having totally different experiences, when we're starting to see that, hey, somebody cured themselves from cancer without going the medical model, or hey, there is a cure for my fibromyalgia, I don't have to be stuck with this forever. And we start to see that, gosh, they did that, then if they did that, then I bet you I can do that too. We start to see we have the every single answer to every single question, to every single problem is right inside. And we are far, far, far more powerful than we have ever been allowed to know. We are creator beings, and we can create anything. So I love that you're sharing these stories.
And just bring trust back to our body, and like you say, we have all the answer.
Exactly. We've been taught to not trust our bodies. We've been taught that there's something wrong with our bodies. We've been taught that our bodies need to be boosted. Whatever they've got now isn't enough. You need to boost with something else, improve on nature. I'm not really sure that you can improve on perfection. Just saying.
And then also, our society, like to give us like Band-Aid, more Band-Aid, like shortcut, but it's just masking the problem. It doesn't solve, we have to get to the root of it.
Exactly.
It's an exciting journey. Very exciting journey.
It is. This is an amazing time to be alive. When we're finally waking up to realize that we are powerful beings. We have far, far, far more options than we have ever been given previously.
It's so true.
And as souls, we are designed to create. We are creators. We are creating in every minute of every day, whether we're aware of it or not. And when we start to become aware of how our thoughts, how our emotions are affecting our reality and are literally generating a reality to match, we can start to manage our energy, our emotions, and we can start to choose different thoughts, different options, things that actually will work for us. We can create anything we want.
It's interesting that you mentioned that, because I just started reading a book yesterday, and it's called The Language of Feelings. And it's exactly what you said. Yep.
Beautiful. And what have you learned so far?
I learned that emotions are actually good, because it's when I grew up, I was taught that emotions are bad. But the book says actually emotions are good, because it's a body's way to communicate, to us. And I said, wow, that's a very different, mindset. Because I'm still a human being, right? Even though everything else I think I under control, but someday, there's someone that makes me not happy. So I always thought, oh no, you supposed, I'm supposed to feel neutral at all time. I'm not supposed to feel sad. I'm not supposed to feel, angry or anything. But when I read this book, I said, oh, actually, it's my body communicate with me. So I need to listen to my body. I need to work with it.
Exactly. We have never been taught that emotions are energy in motion. And
Ah,
emotions are literally just frequencies of energy. So
oh,
our
okay.
bodies feel frequency. So if somebody's like really, really angry and they start yelling at you,
Yeah.
all of that energy goes right, boom, it comes right at us if
Oh,
somebody's yelling at us.
right,
So
right.
that's energy that gets projected at us. And
Oh,
then we feel that energy. And then we go, oh, what did I do wrong? Right?
yeah,
Because the energy feels so bad and they're
yeah,
so mad at us yelling.
yeah,
And
yeah,
we take that energy on and then we take it personally.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
oh no, what did I do? How do I do? Why do I deserve this? You know, and then we try to
yeah,
fight back and we
yeah,
get in this energy
right,
exchange.
right.
But if we just realized that that's energy, my body is feeling that energy. The energy
Oh,
doesn't belong to me. It got
oh,
projected at me.
oh, okay.
So if I clear that energy out,
Yeah.
then I can discharge that energy.
So
So
how do you clear? How do you
like,
clear? How do you clear the energies that
so
don't
like,
belong to you?
so, so think of it this way. On a building, they put a lightning rod at the top of the building. And
Mm,
then there are cords, there are wires basically that go
mm,
down into the ground. So
okay.
that at the top of the building, if the lightning strikes that lightning rod, it'll
Mhm.
shoom and it'll get dispersed and
Ah,
discharged
okay.
down into the ground.
Right.
So the lightning doesn't fry the building,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So if each of us, we are an electromagnetic field. We have energy running through our bodies all the time.
Yeah. Yep.
So if we create a grounding cord intentionally
Oh, okay.
from our first chakra
Yeah.
down into the earth,
Yeah.
and we activate that cord will literally pull down the
Oh,
stray energies. It will discharge any of the charged energies in our energy field. This
oh,
also works just going outside and standing on the ground. That's why it's
wow.
called the ground,
Oh,
because it literally discharges all the charged energy in
oh,
our
so you,
field. And it
you,
helps when we
oh,
go
okay.
outside in nature, we feel better because all of that charged energy, that stress
Um,
that we
right.
feel,
Yeah.
is being discharged into the ground.
Oh, so do
So
you take your shoes off?
if we start to become, say that again.
Do you take the shoes off and then feel the earth?
If you can, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the more you can get in direct physical contact with the earth, the
Mm,
better.
mm,
But literally creating your own grounding cord consciously,
mm.
connecting your chakra system to the chakra system of Mother Earth, to the center of
Oh,
Mother Earth. You
mm,
can see it as like growing roots down into the ground,
mm.
however it is, but becoming consciously aware of your grounding cord.
Ground record.
Then you can activate it and watch as the charges are being discharged from your
Right, right.
energy field. You'll actually feel it in your body.
Wow.
Your body will
Wow.
start to relax.
Wow. That's so cool.
Right? It's like nobody's ever taught us about electromagnetic energy, and we are energy,
Yeah,
literally just energy that has taken on a form.
yeah,
So because we don't look at energy,
mm,
we don't realize that our emotions are simply energies that we're feeling in our bodies.
wow.
And then we get wrapped up in the emotion of, oh my gosh, I feel anxious. Well, oh my gosh, well, I guess I feel anxious because I don't have enough money at the end of the month now. And, I have my bills are all coming due and I'm really worried about,
Yeah.
and we just go into all of these thought patterns that are
Yeah.
connected to that same energy. So
Yeah.
we get lost in the thought patterns instead of discharging the energy and allowing that resistance to go away.
So it sounds like we need to do that every day, right?
It's imperative. I call it energetic hygiene.
Oh,
We're all taught that we need to take a shower, we
yeah.
need to brush our teeth, we need to clean our bodies. We're not taught that we need to clean our energy field.
Right.
Every day, our energy field needs to be cleaned, cleared, and balanced.
Yeah.
If you're walking around with a balanced energy field, everything is in balance.
Right.
But when your energy field is all off and out of balance and filled with charges, when we're feeling on edge, that's like having our finger in the socket, and we're walking around with our finger in the socket going, oh no, I don't know why I don't feel well.
Yeah.
It's like we have to take the finger out of the socket because there's too much energy building up in our system.
Yeah.
It's like, whew, to be able to create your grounding cord and then pull it into your awareness and command that all of that energy go down into the earth where it can just be grounded off.
Right.
It makes a huge difference.
Wow. I'm gonna have to put it in my routine every day.
Yeah, it's really amazing. With just some simple techniques, we can make some really profound changes. And doctors, they don't look at our energy field, but if our energy field is, if all of our chakras are closed down and the energy is not flowing, we can't have a healthy, vibrant system because the energy is shut down.
Yeah. It's so true. Learning so much from you today. It's really worth it to get up early.
We're all learning from you too. See? I told you it'd be worth getting up.
Yeah, I'm wondering, when I
love that.
When I was in New Zealand, I noticed we call them the Kiwis, like the native and the New Zealand, the people that live in New Zealand. Some of them don't wear shoes. Yeah. So now that I think about it, wow. So they have more, grounding and connection with the earth every day. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
And when we're grounded and balanced, when we're connected to this beautiful planet, this planet is heaven on earth. I mean, it really is designed as the Garden of Eden. It's designed to give us everything we need to thrive and flourish. And it's also designed to help keep our bodies grounded and balanced and stable, so that we're living in harmony with the natural rhythms. But with this society that we live in, we're driving cars and being on the computer and go get them, go do this, go do that, look over here. And we're completely disconnected. So many people live in big cities and they don't ever get their feet on the ground. They're on concrete and asphalt all the time. And they're really not connecting to the natural rhythms.
Right. I'm one of them. After this, I'm going to make sure that I take my shoes off and walk on my garden.
Beautiful. Yeah, but you're in San Francisco, so you've got the bay, you've got the ocean, you've got that sea breeze. You've got a lot of nature surrounding you. It doesn't take long to find some nature where you are.
No, no,
So
definitely.
it's easy. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty easy. When we start to realize that we can literally connect to the elements, we can connect to the air, and we can ask for the air to refresh us, to
Oh.
invigorate us. We can ask the waters to cleanse us and help purify us, and help things to start flowing easier in our life. We can connect to the earth, and we can ask the earth to ground our energy, to help our bodies balance and stabilize themselves. There's so many things that are at our disposal, but
Yeah,
we've
yeah,
never been taught that
yeah,
the earth is alive and that the earth can actually help us if we ask, but
yeah,
we have to ask.
yeah, you're right. So next time when I'm in the shower, I should think about that too. The water cleansing my energy field and everything. Yeah. Wow.
Exactly. All the elements are here. They're literally alive. The water is living. It's filled with life force energy,
Oh.
and it can actually follow your commands. If you ask it to do something for you, it can do that for you.
Mm.
So definitely thanking the water and focusing on the cleansing aspect of
Yeah.
the clearing. It's beautiful. We have Dr. Emoto did so many experiments with water,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
taking water from the same lake and putting it in two containers, one container saying I hate you on the container and the other one saying I love you on the container. The water crystals changed form to take on the energy
Yeah.
of the container they were placed in.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Beautiful. So, what words of wisdom do you have for our audience today? What would you say to somebody who is on a health journey?
I would say find a quiet space and then meditate. Meditate and focus on grounding and yeah, just because just being quiet, like even 5 minutes, it helps a lot. Yeah. And then just within that 5 minutes, just focus on loving yourself, accepting who you are, and trusting who you are. Yeah, just because I think we need to have give ourselves acknowledgement and all that. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. We are these grand, beautiful souls that have come in to animate these physical bodies. And then we're just simply taught that we're not good enough. We don't fit in. We're not smart enough,
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
society places on us.
Yeah.
But the truth the entire time is that we are grand beings of light. Like that's actually who and what we are. But
Yeah.
then we live in this crazy mixed up world that tells us that we're not okay, that we didn't do it right. What's wrong with
Yeah.
you? Why didn't you do this? You should always do that. Think about me.
Yeah. I
It's
know.
like, and then we just take on these forms that don't match. And then
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
wonder why we don't feel well.
Right. Right. Right.
So, Chu, I'm so glad that you are creating this space where people can come to start gathering more information and asking questions and
Yeah.
sharing stories and
Mhm.
sharing resources. So, we'll share a link for Chu's Facebook group. We'll share it in the chat under this video. So if you're watching on Facebook and in the replay, just check the comments and you'll find the group to choose her Facebook group, which is called Health, Mindset, and Options. And we'd love to have you support Chu in this, beautiful mission to start sharing the options that we actually do have, that we're not being pointed toward, but that are still there nonetheless. We just have to start taking the initiative, and we have to start looking beyond what we're being given, beyond what we're being told, beyond what we're being sold. And we have to start looking at how the systems are set up to entrap us, to keep us trapped in the systems. And the healthcare system is designed to create us to be customers for the rest of our lives. And it's up to us to choose whether we want that or not, because it's not the only option.
Yeah,
So, Chu,
thank you.
yeah. So what would you say for people that are looking for options?
Well, try to be connected to yourself to choose the option, and don't let other people's opinion affect your choice. Yeah.
Exactly. I love that, because we're just taught that doctors are the authority, and we just, when they give us their opinion, which is exactly what it is,
Yeah.
and we simply accept that opinion as gospel truth, then we simply have to live by somebody else's opinion.
Yeah.
And you know who's the only person whose opinion matters when it comes to you and your life and your health? Is your opinion.
Yes.
It's your opinion that
Yeah.
actually matters.
Yeah. And we all have our inner doctor, so just listen to our inner doctor. Yeah, the inner doctor knows exactly what to do.
Exactly. The soul is the solution. It is the ultimate in doctoring. It is exactly what the doctor ordered: to get quiet, allow that mind to take a break so that the soul can simply step forward, and you will have the inner knowing. The soul holds the answer to every single question.
Yeah.
So when you can quiet the mind, the soul will step forward, and you will know the right path. You will know what to do.
Yeah.
It will be clear. Beautiful. So Chu, how can people reach out and find you?
They could find me on Facebook, and I probably will drop my email address. Yeah, on your Facebook group. Yeah, and yeah, even I'm here to help. Yeah, I'd love to share my story, what I know, and if I don't know, I'll reach out to other people to get answer.
Beautiful.
Or just
Love
reach out to me
that.
to
Chu,
talk.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for getting up early on West Coast time to join us for Solution Sunday today. It's been such a pleasure having you here.
Thank you, Lisa, for giving me the opportunity to be here. Thank you so much. Yeah, I learned a lot today, and I was definitely more connected with myself from this talk.
Beautiful. We love that. So I call my business Connecting You to You, so that we can connect to our own selves, our higher selves, and source the answers from within. Beautiful. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us for another Solution Sunday. Until next week, create for yourselves a great week. Bye for now.